Hello, welcome to Sweet Tea's Tech Time. This is the first installment of Sweet Tea's Tech Time on the podcast, keeping it real. And this is from a speech I just gave after attending and giving a speech at a Toastmasters meeting. Now, if you want to learn a little more about Toastmasters, email me, reach out to me, ask me all about Toastmasters. I know a bunch. I'm about to be going into area director. But this is my speech on how to up your Zoom game that I just gave in a Toastmasters meeting this Friday. It was noon local time for me. Here it is.
Ways to stand out on Zoom. Ways to stand out on Zoom, Thomas Kenyon. I'll keep time.
Hello, thank you, Madam Toastmaster and honored Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for your time today. I'm going to preview many different ways. I have at least 10, maybe more if I have time, if time permits, maybe more. Preview all the ways that you can use Zoom to stand out to your audience. But first, I want to touch on just really quickly, and we'll get right into the 10. How you can show up even before signing on Zoom, and that is acknowledge, appreciate, be thankful, be grateful for everything coming to you, and don't expect in return. With that being said, I know there's a lot of communication stuff with our first prior speaker, Mr. Bobby. Thank you for that conflict resolution. And with that being said, here are ways to get those dots. Thank you, those dots out of your head and onto the screen. Let's begin with our first one. I'm sharing my screen here. First one is very, very simple. Don't spend too much time on this. You know your nameplate, how you show up in the bottom corner of your square. You can even be creative with that, as it's listed here. Bruce Hulk banner. And there's many different things you can, if you have a nickname. Me, I go by Sweet Tea a lot. That nickname is given to me in college. Sweet Tea, you can have a nickname. You can have another, if you're playing a game or something, you can add that to that and rename yourself. So your name, that's how the first really way you can show up. And these numbering, I just noticed, is off a little bit. So excuse the numbering on this. So just add one to the one that you see. So this is actually the second one. The small square with the small name. This is quite often seen in the gallery view. As you see many different examples shown on the screen here right now. Small screen with the small name display. This is the crowd view. This is the big audience view. So you can see everyone that has their camera on. And I encourage you always divulge your camera on. Always share yourself with your audience. Share yourself. That's that should be without being said. But share your camera always. Even if you have to turn it off for a second, turn it off. Come right back on. So this is the third one actually. Remember, we're adding one to that number that I placed. Flat is boring. Flat is boring. You have physical nameplates, but you can also, and I'm going to show you in another slide and here in a minute, how you can not just use that typical regular Zoom renaming function, and how you can create something using two things, OBS and then a website, Canva. But let's move on. Flat is boring. If you can make it three-dimensional, that's even better. Virtual backgrounds. We all know this. We use virtual backgrounds. The best way, if you can get a green screen behind you with lighting, proper lighting and everything, that would be the ideal way to go. virtual backgrounds is another way. So here's canva.com. This is the online version of, you heard of Photoshop, you creating photos, Photoshop and everything. And I cannot see the timer squares. So let me know in the chat, green, yellow, red too. But canva.com is the online version that you can create videos, you can create banners, you can create any kind of marketing or advertisement. Canva.com. Again, any of these you can divulge in the chat. You can there will be a link at the end for you can go and see, get in contact me, or you can any of these you're interested to, we can go deeper in later. Full screen, many different ways. If you're using multiple 2 screens and everything, then you can do this. Have gallery view set up on one side and the full screen set up on another side, so you can be looking at the person speaking and the audience at the same time. So that's full screen. Slides is virtual backgrounds. It's under the advanced tab. Slides is virtual backgrounds, and you just click share and you pull up your PowerPoint presentation, whether you're using Keynote or PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint. It works with either of those the best. I would not recommend Google Slides, just an FYI. So here's OBS, Open Broadcast Service. This is going to be probably the longest slide. Just quickly, you can manipulate one screen. You can manipulate multiple screens. You can open one view for one full screen, one view yourself in a smaller screen or desktop screen to share in a bigger window. OBS, if you're interested in going deeper in this, I have a YouTube link that I'm going to get to here. That's sources as your slides. Again, that's within OBS, you can choose your sources, and this is how I'm changing my slides throughout this Zoom meeting myself. Virtual webcam, again, this is how you send from OBS to Zoom. Just make sure you open OBS, start virtual webcam, and choose OBS virtual webcam as the webcam itself in Zoom itself. And the last official one I have, live stream or recorded video. Yes, this is being recorded right now, so that's the last one. So I have a few bonus ones. I've used these in the past. Audio via phone. You can either connect with your computer audio, everything with your audio jack, or you can dial in and say phone call and dial into a phone number, use meeting ID and participant ID. Hide self view is another bonus way. It helps tremendously. I recommend actually doing this. And turn on True HD. And if you want to, I know a lot of people were interested in how to use show timers with Zoom OBS. I can put the link in the chat for this. I made this, how to do that using OBS and Zoom. And there's my contact, and I can leave it there and send it back to the Toastmaster. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the first installment of Sweet Tea's Tech Time. If anything that you heard in this episode that you're interested in, please reach out to me on social channels, email, whatever. Whether it's Toastmasters, you want to learn about Toastmasters, or any of the items you heard in this episode today, reach out to me and I'll dive in deeper with you. You can check out, if you're a comedian or a Toastmasters timer, you can check out my YouTube clip on my channel on how to set up your timer, how to set up Zoom, all using OBS. So thank you for tuning in today, and hope you enjoyed this message and episode and got some value from it. Until next time, I'll see you in the next episode.